Havannah Syndrome. No, not the kind of symptoms you experience as a result of not wanting to leave that particular beautiful place in the world where beaches are just galore. And I mean, I've never been there, but this is my picture of it. So thanks for watching the videos. I really appreciate it. I truly do. 4 to 5 minutes of your time every single day means the world to me, and it also inspires me to continue to watch other content creators and be influenced from their stuff, and just allows me to have the same kind of privilege and opportunity that I've always been so grateful to have. And so I really appreciate you watching the videos. So much so that my 100th video, just down below this one, talks about how happy I am to have this opportunity and stuff. And so right now we're talking about Havannah Syndrome. And Havannah Syndrome it was a term that was coined in around 2015, 2016. The term has just only recently been coined, but as a result of a case that took place circa 2015, 2016, involving a high-level intelligence officer in the United States government. She was in Havana and was essentially the first cataloged victim of a new kind of warfare, which is always unfortunate. War is always a bad thing. I'm anti-war, but as it concerns this particular story, Havannah Syndrome is when certain waves are mechanized, certain sound waves, and they attack a person, and it makes this person literally have like instant vertigo, ringing of the ears, loss of eyesight, loss of memory, slow term, long term, but slowly. So it's a weapon. And anytime the weapons are involved, it's not a good thing or whatever. But Havannah Syndrome are the lasting impacts that being attacked from this kind of weaponization happens. And so if you do some research and you look up Havannah Syndrome, and I think as a content creator and as somebody who likes to talk in general, I guess, and like impromptu speeches and stuff, I think the most difficult thing sometimes is talking about topics that are so new that it's like even hard to verbalize them. That was a double entendre. I meant that. Like verbalize them. I'm also a huge word nerd. But anyways, like I'm serious. It's sort of like, how do you talk about Havannah Syndrome, right? But it's like at the same time, because from a lay perspective and from an impromptu perspective, not from a prepared extemporaneous perspective, for example, right? Which would have been more informed and looked into and researched, Avi. But that's kind of the cool thing about different forms or different formats of speeches and stuff, is that you can be creative and stuff. And I'm absolutely certain that I will make at least another video or 2 or 3 about Havannah Syndrome because of its prevalence and its permeance to everyday people. And that's kind of where it's blended. Everyday people, the guy behind his desk with my stuffed animals in the back there holding the world down, right? Is that Havannah Syndrome is a serious thing, and the more that we know about it, the better we can be prepared to be out on the look for making sure everything's safe, in terms of like, it always has been kind of like sketch to see somebody just, I guess, chilling in their car in the middle of the night doing nothing or whatever, like hanging out. But like the extent to which people and witnesses when they've been like interviewed or whatever, have said that like they've seen a certain kind of vibe in that person's car, like different kinds of computers and different sort of electronic looking devices and stuff. And I was in New York City when I first saw this sign, right? Like, if you see something, say something, I guess, which is always like the safest way to be in terms of just not being sure about what could potentially be a bad thing. And I bring up the New York City thing, right? Because it's kind of like how I've always remembered in my life to evaluate public safety in terms of like looking out and just being mindful of your surroundings, right? And now that Havannah Syndrome is something that I'm sure, again, more just normal people like me are going to be talking about, then it's something that can help, like, can also be helped to prevent in terms of, if you see something shady or sketch that that might involve any of those things, if you see something, say something in that regard, because these current new ways of engaging in warfare are, I'm not sure if they're legal. One, like, I mean, there are like rules and laws to war, even, and as even just an anti, like, staunch, eh, not proponent of war, I couldn't imagine anything like Havannah Syndrome. Look it up, talk about it, learn about it, and see where you stand on it.